Hey guys, Matty here, coming at you from Belfort Rainforest, and just thought it'd be a great opportunity to show off my brand new Jimny. Okay, so starting with the front end, we have the 2018 GJ Jimny Bull Bar version 2. It is something that I bought pretty cheap. It's probably a bit of a placeholder at the moment, but I do plan on Raptor coating the whole thing, protecting it, waterproofing it, and whatnot. It's a fantastic little bit of kit. I'm getting a lot of compliments on it. A lot of people like the look of it. I love the look of it. And it gives me a really nice entry angle as well, so it helps me with forward driving too. There is also a T-Max winch inside there, which is 4,500 pounds. And long story short, it's actually a winch for an ATV, which means it only cost me $250, so super cheap opposed to a $1,000, 9,000 pound winch. And the good thing with the little Jimnys, because they're so small and so light, 4,500 pounds is way more than I'll ever need to pull this thing out of a bog hole, so that's really good. As far as the front grille goes, I got that from Jimny Style itself. I got the Suzuki logo as well from them. I originally had the plastic eyelids on the original grille, but because this grille is molded differently, they didn't quite fit, so I've just replaced these ones with tape for now. And I absolutely love this classic Suzuki logo. I put a mesh underneath there as well because the original grille just has that really large hex pattern. I'm not a huge fan of it, so I put that lighter mesh over top of it to give it a bit more detail, and the Suzuki logo on top really brings that whole classic racing look together. And here, of course, is my little GME antenna that I've just bolted straight on the sides. And on each side, I'm not too sure 100% if they work very well, but it's those little kangaroo whistles. Hopefully it saves a kangaroo's life. If not, it only cost me $6. So, alright, let's talk about the business end. Lift kit and tires. These are the BFG KM3s. They're the 235/70 R16s, and I've got them sitting on the JO1s from Jimny Style. From High Peak Wheels. They are fantastic nags. I actually absolutely love the look that brings the whole concept together. And yeah, the tires themselves are absolutely fantastic. We're out here today in a very boggy, very muddy, very wet track, and these things are just eating it up. It's fantastic. We did this track a few weeks ago in the dry with the standard gear on it, and we're having way more success today. So, as far as the lift kit goes, wow. I did a lot of research, I did a lot of asking around. A lot of you guys out there know that I've talked to you about it yourselves, and I finally decided to stick to the Ironman GVM upgrade. The reason why I did that, mainly because A, I wanted the security, I wanted safety. I plan to travel a lot in this vehicle, and I didn't want to make it unsafe by overloading it. Now the thing is with the Suzuki Jimnys, they're pretty small vehicles, so they only have about 300 kilos weight capacity as it is. I weigh 100 plus kilos, so that's about a third of all the weight I can carry in the vehicle. So that means that by the time I get the wife, the dog, all of the camping gear and everything else on top of it, I'm going to be well exceeding that weight. Which means that it's going to be dangerous on the highways, it's going to be dangerous on the tracks, I'm going to be compromising my suspension, not to mention if I have any issues or any troubles, insurance just won't pay out. And the cops will be chasing me for fines too, so let's avoid that. So I decided with this lift kit, it's giving me it's a 50 millimeter lift kit. It's actually giving me close to 100 mils on the back wheels, but that's because I haven't fully loaded it yet. I've got my fridge, the dog, and a few other things in the back, but I need to put a bit more weight in the back to actually get those springs to compress and work the way they're supposed to. But they're still brand new and fresh, so they're still a little bit stiff too, so they're settling in still. Okay, so I've been asked about these way too many times. The decals, let's talk about those. So these are actually just racing stripe stickers I bought from Wish or eBay or Amazon. Honestly, I can't remember which one it was. I paid like $12 for them. I bought these ones, I bought a whole bunch of other ones, and I kind of sort of lined them all up, and I was like, no, I really do like the red racing stripes. So I just put them on myself. It was pretty easy to do. A bit of tricky Stanley knife work around the edges and whatnot. But yeah, they're fantastic. I've had lots of positive comments on it, and yeah, they make the car look completely different. Alright, so there's two more things I wish to talk about. One will be the decals. As you can see, I've got a whole bunch of stickers. Just a whole bunch of promo stuff. I'm not being paid or sponsored by anything. They're just things that I bought. For example, the GM radio, the GoPro that we use for filming, the High Peak wheels, that sort of stuff. I've got a few other stickers as well from Chaos Gear, my little smiley face just to remind me to stay happy. And there's a couple other little stickers around too, but over the course of history, I'm sure this thing's going to be covered with decals and stickers. For the roof rack, I decided to go with the Front Runner high set roof rack. I've done that because I've got the table slide inside. I'll show you that in a second. There's a couple other things as well. We do have the wind deflectors on the front, which stops the wind noise. Actually reduces it a lot. Like I can barely even hear that it's on here. So as you can see, I've got 4 spotties at the front. They're just basic Adventure King spotties. They're nice and cheap, a bit of a placeholder at the moment, but I mean, I fired them up at night and they absolutely just light up the forest. So they're actually really, really good spotties. I originally had them mounted like on the top but they were like really, really tall and like really flat. I didn't really like, how they sit. So I've actually drilled holes through the roof rack and actually mounted them on the front just to fill this whole space at the front here. And I think they look really, really good. They sit nice. It looks like they're supposed to be there. So moving on, we've got the MaxTrax side kit mounted on here. So I've got 2 MaxTrax on there at the moment. They're really handy, obviously, when you get stuck in a bog. I've also got like a rope chain I got from Bunnings, just to stop people from nicking them. If you want to follow me around the back here, I'll show you something else. So this is the table slide. Now, when you purchase it from FrontRunner, you can actually purchase a FrontRunner table as well, but as you can see, this one is a bit old and a bit rusty and a bit scuffed up, because this is one of my original camping tables. In fact, it's one of the first things I ever bought going camping, so I've had it for well over 10 years, it's like well over a decade old. So the great thing about it though is that it's obviously metal, it slides straight in. I just had to modify the rails a little bit so it'll fit properly. But when it goes in, as you can see, it is definitely stuck in there, like it's not going anywhere. It's a fantastic bit of kit. Want to follow me around the other side? Last thing we have so far on the roof rack is this Darche Eclipse awning. It's the 180 version. So not only does it just fold straight out, but it also folds forward and it folds to the back. It doesn't fold right around like the 270s. I was going to go for a 270, but I found that this sits much better. The 270s are like way too long. They kind of hang out the front here. And I wasn't a big fan of that because it started blocking the spotlights. So this little Darche Eclipse is a fantastic little bit of kit. If you want to see it popped up, we actually got a video for when we were camping with it the other day, and it's a great little awning. Hey guys, so if you find yourself forward driving like I am, and you got a big massive boggy mud hole like this, the best idea is to walk it out. But I don't want to get my shoes, my pants muddy, so I'm going to grab myself a stick. The good trick is to snap it like that, and then you can use that to test the depth. It's always good to check all the way down as well, because there can be like deeper holes, especially in the wider parts. You just want to make sure that everything you get is not that deep. There you go, see it's nice and shallow. It does step up here a bit, but. So, yeah, this is going to be too easy. There's a few places where it's a little bit deeper than others, but nothing too serious. So, if you now look at your good measuring stick, you see it's only wet by about a foot or so. It's up to my shins. So up against the car itself, you see it's not going to be that deep at all. Too easy. Let's do this. Okay, so we got through that. That was a hole and a half. Unfortunately, it's actually pushed a lot of the water down this path and made everything nice and slippery for me. So I'm just going to walk through here and just have a look at what we can do. There's a bit of a hole here, but it's nothing too serious. This is going to give me a bit of grief. I might have a bit of trouble like actually straddling this because the chimneys are notoriously small, but I think I can get away with it. We are heading downhill anyway, so gravity kind of helps us out a little bit. Now, if you want to move down a little bit further, just be super careful because it is clay and it's super slippery. So I am walking very gently because I'm not trying to spill myself. But down here is going to be a fair bit of fun. Oh, yeah, this is very wet, very boggy. Yeah. So I think I'm going to come down here straight through the middle. Last time we actually went up over this bank and sort of cheated and hooked around the side, but we had standard running gear then. Now we've got the big tires and we've got the big lift kit. So yeah, I'm just going to jump straight in. I'm going to see what happens. Hopefully I'll end up over there. If not, I'll test my new winch. Thank you so much for watching, if you're still sticking around. If you ever see us out in the tracks, seriously, come up and say hi. I love this vehicle. I love talking about this vehicle. If you have any questions, please DM me, leave comments, whatever. I'm happy to try to answer anything I can. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you out in the tracks.